Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you today? We are going today to talk about a suggested plan on how to study and prepare for IELTS. We will start first with step number one, which is the most important, actually, in my opinion, and that is to assess your English level. Many students make mistake by immediately going to the tests, the IELTS sample tests, and they start practicing them. And this is probably the worst thing ever. What you should do actually is you need first to assess your language level. Now, I left for you in the description number one link, and that is the assessment test that I made specifically to assess my students and help them decide on whether they're ready to take an IELTS course or not. So this is first with the assessment. Now your level has to be at least intermediate and above, of course. And so if your level is intermediate, you're fine. You can start immediately with the IELTS course. Now, what would I do first? After I check that my level is good, I can start, or I can go and attempt getting the book, New Insight into IELTS Students Book with Answers. This is probably one of the most useful books ever, in my opinion. I've tried so many books over the 15 years of teaching IELTS, and I think, in my opinion, probably this is the best. So you can get it online or offline, whatever you want. I left actually a link for the book and also lots of useful material in the description below in number 2 link. Now, after I get the book, I'm ready now. This is something also nice to do, that you can actually start watching the videos and follow the instructions. Now, I started with listening, then reading. So I started with listening first because probably it's the easiest one. These listening and reading are receptive skills, and you're probably, or you're likely to have a higher level of language when it comes to these two. And this explains why many students say, well, I understand what you say, but I can't reply, or I cannot make up the sentences and speak back or reply. So that is why your level would be higher in these two skills. And this is why you should start with them. And by the time you reach writing and speaking, the productive skills, and that are more difficult, of course, your level of English would have by that time improved a lot. So this is a good thing to start with. So start with the listening videos. I've got over 15, 20 videos. So start with video number 1. Keep watching. You need a notebook. This is very important. And you need to start writing down the vocabulary words. And not only the vocabulary words, you need to write down actually the synonyms that you come across. Now, for example, in the text of the question, so in the question itself, you can see the word rely on. This is possible specifically in listening and reading. So if I find in the question rely on, I might, or it is possible to find it in the listening script or in the reading passage as the word depend on. So rely on and depend on, they're kind of synonyms, very close in meaning. So it would be nice to write them together, put them together in your notebook. So basically, IELTS is all about synonyms. The more synonyms you know of one word, the better the chance of you to get the answer right. So this is very important. I do not like the books for vocabulary that are all over the internet that suggest the most common IELTS words and all that. I think they're kind of waste of time, and that's my personal opinion. So I think, or I believe that the best way is that you collect your own vocabulary through studying and doing the test later on. This is probably the best strategy, in my opinion. And now, after you're done with watching all the videos, then you can go actually to Cambridge IELTS Books 1 to 16. They're also in the link below. So the resources are all put together in one link. And now, one thing, many students actually jump to Cambridge IELTS Books 1 to 16 and start doing and answering the questions without actually knowing anything about the strategies, time management, etc. And this is a big mistake. always go and study the book first, New Insight into IELTS. You can watch my previous videos. I explain everything. It's going to be very helpful. After you feel you're ready, you can actually start trying. My suggestion to you is you start with book 1, 2, and 3. I know they are a little bit old. The tests might be a little bit different from IELTS nowadays, but the thing is you want to try first to practice as much as possible, and when you feel you got better, you can go to the most recent books. That is, for example, book 13, 14, 15, and 16. Again, the links are in the description below. Now, one important note here, that is, do not book for the test until you are ready. This is also another mistake. Many students who take classes with me, they just suddenly call me. They said, okay, my test is booked. 2 weeks from now, I need to take courses with you. This is a huge mistake, guys. Do not book for the tests until you are 100% ready. How do you know you're ready? After you finish all these steps here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, when you're actually doing the practice tests in Cambridge IELTS books, you will see how much approximately you're going to get. So if in these tests you get, for example, score 7 in listening and reading, and this is the score that you need actually in the real test, then go ahead and book it. You're ready, okay? Now, for writing and speaking, since they are productive skills, okay, it is good to watch the videos that I put for them. I haven't finished the speaking videos yet, but in my opinion, if your level is intermediate again, upper intermediate or less than that, if you're not advanced level English student, I strongly recommend you take with a tutor. You need at least up to 10 hours of feedback. So you need to write and do the speaking tests, and the teacher who's an expert needs to give you a feedback, correct your mistakes, point out your weaknesses, etc. And this is how you would guarantee that you will get a good mark or a good score in the IELTS. Now, one last thing, if you need private lessons with me, you may call or text me on WhatsApp. My number is in Canada, 001-647-685-9800. Feel free to write a comment down below. Please subscribe and like. Share as well the video if you please. Thank you so much for watching this today. Have a good night.